All right, what's up, guys? This is Zach. This is Kyle.
Hey, guys.
Welcome to New Angle Sports Talk again for video number 3. Pretty pumped about this one. Today we're going to be talking more about the Thunder. So I think that's what a lot of people want to hear us talk about, and so we're going to just jump right in. So without further ado, let's get started.
Sure, still don't want to hear about the Lakers.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so I mean, we are from Oklahoma, but we want to hear about the Thunder. Yeah.
I want to hear about the Lakers.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about with the Thunder coming into the playoffs. I don't know.
Barely.
Yeah, I don't know. Barely. Yeah, I don't know if anybody really thinks that they're going to win a first round matchup either against the Nuggets or Warriors. But if they do, when they match up, regardless of who the matchup is on the Thunder roster, who is the one person in particular that you think that has to step up in order for them to have a chance? So I'll let you start this time, and we'll go from there.
Well, I mean, this was a little tough for me because Russ has been with our team since the beginning. He's averaged 3 straight triple doubles.
Yeah,
he is definitely the engine a lot of times that makes our team run. Mm-hmm. But in terms of who I think is the vital, important piece to winning a playoff series, I think Paul George is going to have to return back to his MVP form that he was in the beginning of the season. We had a top 5 defense, which that's regressed a little bit throughout the end of the season since the All-Star break. But we were the 3rd in the West before the All-Star break. We were 33-19. Since then, we have been 9-13, which it's not horrible, but we have had the 2nd worst offensive rating in the league behind the Knicks. The Knicks are the only ones worse than us. Yeah. So that's saying a lot, and I think a lot of that has to do with Paul George. Shoulder injury, I would think, but I think Russell Westbrook feels like he has to carry the load more, and that is the worst kind of Westbrook, is when he feels like he has to do too much.
That's a good point.
And he cannot control himself. Obviously, he's still putting the numbers up. That's awesome, but he shoots the ball way too much considering his deficiency from shooting. He does everything on the offensive side wrong. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, I think the best Russell Westbrook is a Russell Westbrook with a role. So if you just give him the keys and you go, then he averages a triple double like he did the first year. He maybe wins an MVP, but he doesn't get out of the first round. If you give him a role, which again they didn't get out of the first round last year either, and they may not get out of it again this year, but. The thing is if you give them a role, if you say, okay, this is what I need you to do, I need you to get people involved. But when it comes to closing time, if it's Paul George, like you're mentioning, let Paul George be that closer. That's the thing with a lot of teams. It's like there's a lot of teams in the NBA that have guys that will, be their role or play their role. But when it comes to the last couple of minutes, we need some buckets. We need to get on a run as well.
Right.
In the second quarter, when your team just flat lines and they can't get any ball movement going or anything, there's got to be that one person, which can be Russ at times, but maybe the more efficient option is actually probably Paul George in a lot of cases.
No, most definitely. It's just you don't ever know what you're going to get, which Russell Westbrook you're going to get on a nightly basis. Yes, he still puts up ridiculous numbers on a nightly basis, but I get so sick of seeing when I look at the field goals, like 2 for 18 or 7 for 30. I'm like, really? And then I see Paul George only took like 14 shots, or Dennis Schroeder or Steven Adams, where they only took like 8 shots. And I'm like, okay, if you're having that off of a night, you need to distribute the ball.
Yeah, get the ball and play, and run some pick and roll, run something that gets other people involved. Do you think it's maybe a problem with him? I guess this might be a topic for another day, but is it a problem with coaching? Is that the issue, or is it just him not being aware of the situation sometimes and saying, okay, I'm having a terrible night, let me get more people involved? And I think the internet trolls will sometimes say, well, he's padding stats or whatever, but I think if you have that realization that you aren't having a good night and you say, you know what, I'm going to be a decoy on offense, it's just not my night. It's okay. Tomorrow night might be my night. Next Tuesday might be my night. It just depends. It just getting your team involved, and I think that's a good point that you have.
I think part of it could be attributed to coaching. I have not been a fan of Billy Donovan, in my opinion. I wasn't honestly that big of a fan of Scotty Brooks, but I think he was probably a better option than Billy Donovan, in my opinion. I don't think we should have got rid of Brooks, but a lot of it still has to do with Westbrook. I mean, he so badly wants to be that alpha dog that's going to put his team on his shoulders. He feels like he has to do that to win the games. He's gotten a lot better of distributing to, deferring to Paul George, especially at the end of games.
Right.
But when Paul George is kind of having his off nights lately, which I think it's been a switch for him. So I'm really think it's probably his shoulder's been bothering him because it is his shooting shoulder. Westbrook he carries too much, and he doesn't trust his teammates outside of George. And he used to the Adams Westbrook pick and roll used to be so deadly, and
Dynamite, yeah.
That is not even happening that much anymore.
Yeah,
which it's crazy. I don't know what it is. I do know there's been some other people, like we had this conversation. Kobe kind of referred to him as having Mamba mentality, as you will, like that killer instinct, which he does. But at the same time, you made this point, is Mamba mentality is part of when you're seeing a deficiency in your game, you need to work on it. When you're seeing someone, pack the paint on you because you run into the paint so much that you change your game up and get in the gym, take 1,000 3-pointers, a night. Get your weak point a strength.
Yeah.
And that's Westbrook has just relied totally on his athleticism, and up to this point, he's kind of losing a little bit of that as he gets older. I mean, he doesn't even dunk the ball that much anymore. And I don't know. It's definitely a different Westbrook than what I've seen in years past. It's very uncontrolled. That's why I'm kind of rolling with Paul George. Who do you think is going to be...
Well, before I jump into mine, let me kind of mention a few things on yours. Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Now, with coaching, I don't think coaching is the issue, and maybe that's a debate that everybody wants to see. You think that it might be a tribute with coaching. I don't see it that way. I think in the NBA level, again, I'll get more into this in our next video if maybe that's our next topic we talk about. But I don't think that coaching plays as much of a role in the NBA as it does in other sports as well, too. So I don't think that just because a team is losing, that it's the coach's fault. I think that if you look at common denominators, who people who should be efficient or should be getting better at efficiency isn't getting efficient, then maybe that's actually the problem. Maybe hustle or intensity is the problem, or team chemistry is the problem. I know last year there's a lot of reports saying that there's team chemistry with Carmelo and things like maybe the team wasn't meshing well or whatever. And I don't know. That's a topic for another day. We'll get into that. But also Mamba mentality, like you said, just to recap that again, Mamba mentality is more about, you have that intensity, and I think we label that for him, but that's not what it's about. It's about knowing the advantages that you have on other players. It's knowing if you have a disadvantage, with yourself. If you're not good at shooting threes, then maybe you should get better at shooting threes. Maybe you should lock yourself in the gym, especially in the summer.
Yeah. Take
a summer off, don't vacation, and just go get in the gym. And if winning a ring is actually the most important thing, those things are going to matter, because there's been plenty of point guards or shooting guards in the league that in NBA history who won rings who weren't great at shooting from the 3-point line. So I think that's a good point. But actually my pick, which I think as a team, the entire team has to get better, obviously, but my pick is actually Steven Adams. And I think he will get better this year. But if you go back, the big year that we remember of Steven Adams was in 15-16 when he had Kevin Durant, and he was just crushing it all year long. They played the Mavs, the 1-6 games in the first round. They played the Spurs 1-7, and then obviously the Warriors is when we lost the 3-1 lead. But in that entire playoff, he was crushing it. That's when he got that big contract the next year and everything like that. But more importantly, that year in the playoffs, he set career highs in player efficiency, true shooting percentage, rebounding, and points. Technically his points, he actually matched it from the year before, but he was improving. And actually this year he's doing the same thing. He's making career highs in points per game, rebounds, and assists for a big man. And now there is a caveat with that. He actually has the lowest free throw percentage that he's ever had in his career at 50%. And I get it, you're a big man. Big men don't usually have great free throw touch from the line, but
not in this game.
yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. They don't have good free throw touches, is what I'm saying. But he's got to get better at that. He's got to get. I mean, there's no excuse if you can, if you have time in the off season or whatever. If your issue is shooting threes, get in and shoot threes. If your issue is shooting free throws as a team, get in and shoot free throws. So I have the same opinion with the Lakers. The Lakers are trash at shooting free throws, and it's like, why are we so bad at shooting free throws? We're not stacked with a bunch of big men. We have JaVale McGee and Tyson Chandler. But we don't have a ton of big men on our team. But we have a lot of guards, a lot of wing players as well. There's no reason for us to be bad at shooting free throws with people who are playmakers and things like that. But that's my pick, Steven Adams. And I think he will. He's having a huge year in the regular season. And I think that's exactly what's going to translate over into the playoffs. I think he actually will be the 15-16 type Steven Adams. But the whole team needs to be.
So with Steven Adams, do you consider him kind of his defensive deficiencies this year a problem?
They have against big time matchups like we've talked about before. But if you think about it, the Warriors, they have DeMarcus Cousins and they have Kevin Durant too. The Nuggets with Jokic, the Rockets with Clint Capella. And there's no reason you can't guard Clint Capella. He's super athletic, but he doesn't have much of an offensive touch around the rim unless it's layups and dunks. The Trailblazers, they lost Nurkic, but the Jazz with Rudy Gobert. You have a bunch in Spurs. They have Aldridge, yeah, they don't have Pau Gasol anymore, but you have a lot of good big men. Even though this isn't really a big man league anymore in the NBA, you have a lot of good big men that you have to play good against. And more than likely, you're probably going to be playing the Nuggets in the first round. So with the Jokic situation, the Jokic matchup, if there's one player on the Nuggets team that stands out above everybody else, it's obviously Jokic, and that's Steven Adams' guy, that's Jeremy Grant's guy, that's Patrick Patterson's guy, that's all those guys, those big men, it's their guys. So it's like,
well, Jokic has just destroyed Adams in the regular season.
Yeah.
Like it's bad. Like Adams is considered by the league like the strongest guy. He's always been good in defense in the paint. But, man, I don't know what it is, but he can't stay on his guys when they do post moves on him.
Yeah.
Or especially when they bring him out of the paint.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he gets lost.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So I think Steven Adams is definitely going to be a key, but it's more on the defensive side, in my opinion, than even on the offense. I mean, obviously, he just needs to clean up the boards and just play, better defense. And, I think our defense as a whole, though, is going to give us a chance against any team, but we definitely have to see just a little bit more of the Thunder from the beginning of the season compared to what we've seen over the last month or two.
Yeah, we need the efficient, good shot selection Thunder. And honestly, if there's a team that, I mean, we're due for a big upset in the first round. Maybe last year was when the Trailblazers got upset. The Trailblazers got upset and they got swept. But, I think that the thing is, it's not a simulation, it's a basketball game. So if everybody's on the same page, if everybody has good shot selection, if everybody's aware of what their strengths and their weaknesses are, then go at it, and play good basketball, leave it all on the court. And, really the thing is like, nobody's expecting you to get past the first round. So, obviously we don't need to tell everybody this because everybody should know this, but leave it on the court.
Right.
You're not expected to win anyway, so leave it there. Don't go to vacation. Don't look forward to your vacation. Don't schedule anything yet. Obviously just play hard and go from there. But do you have any last thoughts?
No.
That's pretty much it.
I do want to let you know, to all the Thunder fans, I do not hate Westbrook by any means. I have always loved Westbrook, but I can guarantee you a lot of you can, understand my frustration on this. He's obviously stuck with us, but I just kind of want to see him being a little bit more controlled Westbrook, because I think if we can get that, we can go a long ways. So, yeah. But yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching, and also thanks for the support in the first two videos that we've had. The first video, the second video we're actually filming today as well too, but the first video we filmed, was it Thursday or Friday we filmed it?
It was
I think it's Friday. Yeah, Friday we filmed it. We got for our first video, we got a pretty good amount of views already. Some people have given us some feedback and stuff, things that we're working on, things that things that we can improve on. But yeah, if you guys have any topic discussions you guys want to talk about, if you guys want to join us talking about something, come on over. We got plenty of chairs here. You can come over and talk to us about things.
Hit that subscribe button and the little bell in YouTube.
Yeah.
That way, when a new video comes up, you're notified. Like, it's going to make it a lot easier to know when we have a new video come out. So.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.